Hi, welcome to Virtually Sunday. My name's Tony Pichler. So we've entered November, and we've entered a season where we start to wind up the church year, as well as begin to prepare for Advent. We're going to hear in the upcoming weeks a lot about end times. We're going to hear a lot about preparation for what is to come. So it gets me thinking about a time when I wasn't really very prepared. It was when I was a 7th or 8th grader. I was probably 12, 13 years old, and I was a Boy Scout, and we were heading on a weekend winter camp up in northern Wisconsin, just north of Eau Claire, where I grew up. And we were told to prepare, to bring what gear we needed. And so I packed my clothes, I packed my sleeping bag, my pillow, and I was all ready to go Friday evening for our scout leader to pick me up. The problem is, when we got to scout camp, all of the other guys started to unload food and drinks and eating utensils, and I hadn't prepared one of those. No food, no drinks, nothing to eat on or eat with. And so I spent the next 3 days scrounging off others, their eating utensils, their food, their drink, just to get by for a growing 7th or 8th grade boy. I was not prepared. And as we know, the old Scouts motto is, be prepared. Well, that's what this Sunday's gospel readings and other readings are all about. Wise preparation. How can we be prepared as wisdom people? In the first reading from the book of Wisdom, it says, resplendent and unfading is wisdom, and she is readily perceived by those who love her and found by those who seek her. What a beautiful description of wisdom. Those who seek her, those who love her, will find wisdom. Then in the second reading, Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians, he's recalling that we have people that have come before us. We have wisdom figures in our lives who have shown us how to really go on this journey of life. These have been wise people in our lives. And Paul writes to those Thessalonians, for if we believe that Jesus died and rose, so too will God, through Jesus, bring with him those who have fallen asleep. Those who have fallen asleep. Those wisdom figures in our lives, those people whose shoulders we stand on, who have shown us the way and taught us the way. Wisdom figures in our lives. And then we get to the gospel from Matthew 25, another great parable that Jesus tells us, this time about 10 virgins. 10 virgins who are getting ready for a wedding feast, for the bridegroom to arrive and for the celebration to occur. And they're ready, at least they think they are. And they've got their lamps, and they're lit, and they're ready to go. The problem is, 5 of the virgins realize that they're going to run short on oil, especially if the bridegroom doesn't come right away. And so they go off on a shopping spree to Walmart or Target to find some oil to light their lamps and keep their lamps going. Unfortunately, while they're gone, the bridegroom does show up for the wedding feast. And so the 5 wise virgins are all set to go. Their lamps are trimmed, they're ready to fly, and so they go into the wedding feast and enjoy the celebration. The 5 foolish ones, the 5 foolish virgins who are unprepared, come back to the wedding feast and find that they're locked out. They're too late. They were unprepared. So what's the distinction between these two groups of 5? It's preparation. 5 were ready, 5 were prepared, and 5 were not. So being ready to see the face of Christ in everyone and everything we meet is what's key in these scripture passages for Sunday. Especially in this post-election time, we've got a real challenge here to see Christ in everyone. Do we see Christ in the person who voted Republican when we're a Democrat, or vice versa? Do we see Christ in those who are in a red state if we find ourselves in a blue state? Do we find Christ or see Christ in the conservative when we're more progressive or liberal? Do we see Christ, and can we make peace with that person? It's a really challenging yet essential question for us in our time. So are we foolish or are we wise? Are we prepared to encounter Christ in others and in all of God's creation? I know I've come a long way from that winter camp experience near Eau Claire, but each day is a journey towards wisdom, and it's guided by those who have come before me and shown me the way. And preparation is the key. So, to learn from the old Scouts motto, be prepared. Let's get prepared to celebrate the coming of the bridegroom. God bless you.